In this video, I'm going to show you how I made these simple wood plant stands out of just one 2x4. The 2x4 costed me about $4.68, so each one is right around $2 a piece to make. You can't beat it. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? So the first thing I did was check the prices on Amazon and how much they were going for on there. And the price of a 2x4 is a lot cheaper than $50 for two of these. And let's be honest, I'm a woodworker. I'm not buying something I can make. So I drew up a little sketch. This was just going to be so I could better visualize and maximize the size of the stands from one 2x4. You can pause and take a look at it, but the width of your pot might be different. That will result in your cut lengths being different. But there's really only two cuts you need to make for these. One is the height, and the other is the cross pieces. And the cross pieces are determined by the size of your pot. So you'll just want to measure across the bottom of your pot across the widest point. The bottom of my pot was about 13 inches, so I made my cross pieces 13.5 inches in length. And after the cross pieces were cut, what was left of my 2x4, I could do them 17 inches in height. That's the only scrap I got left, about a ½ inch. So with all the lengths cut, I went to the table saw to turn each of the lengths into 1.5 by 1.5 inch pieces. I did this by ripping the rounded edges off of the 2x4, and then after that I ripped each piece in half. And then at this point you should have perfectly square pieces that are 1.5 inches by 1.5. So on the cross length pieces, this is where your pots will sit. I just marked the centers, and there's going to be a dado that's going to make these two come together. So after I had it all marked up, I just put 2 stop blocks on my crosscut sled and chewed out the material that way. A dado blade will make this much quicker, but since I was only building 2 stands, I just used my regular blade. But if I was batching these out, I would use a dado blade to do this because it would make it a lot quicker. And this is just what you're looking for these pieces to come together nice and snug like this. You don't want this to be a loose fit because this is how your two pieces come together, and it can be pretty wobbly if it's loose. Alrighty guys, now what you could do is measure where you want to put this, whether you want the pot to be up here, down here, right in the middle, wherever you want. And then you could just screw it right through like this. And that'll just kind of give you a simple straight square one. What I'm going to do, the way I've drawn this up in SketchUp, it's going to be 3 inches down from here, and I'm going to taper it right there and right there. So as I said, you could stop here and leave the stuff like this. I wanted more of a tapered look to mine. So I marked out on one leg where my tapered cuts were going to be and cut the first taper on my crosscut sled. I traced where the leg sat on the crosscut sled and then repeated all those cuts. That was just so I could visualize where to put each leg, and then all the tapers were going to match pretty much perfectly. For the bottom tapers, I started doing it the same way, but there just wasn't enough material to hold down the piece on the crosscut sled because it was going to be a lot of longer cut, and I just didn't feel completely comfortable doing it. So I went over to the bandsaw. This was a little more time consuming, and if I were to batch these out, I would most certainly make a jig to do this on my table saw. And that would be a lot more accurate too because I am far from perfect on the bandsaw. Then I wanted to sand off the saw marks that the bandsaw left. I love these 3M Extract sanding discs, but I must say they have absolutely destroyed both my Festool and my Bosch sanding pads. So I purchased these protector pads on Amazon, which Festool actually recommended to me if you're using mesh sandpaper like the 3M Extract, and I haven't had a problem since. I'll link them in the description. You get 2 of them for about 15 bucks, which is way cheaper than replacing your original sanding pad. And I love using the 3M Extract sanding discs. They perform a lot better than the cheaper stuff I have used in the past. So now this is where I usually lose a lot of viewers in my videos. It's because I'm joining these with a floating tenon joint thanks to my Festool domino. But this is by no means the only way to do this. I'm simply using this because I have it, but I didn't always have it for the longest time, and there are plenty other options to make this joint. You can simply countersink a screw to create it, use dowels. You could probably get by using biscuits, although they don't give you a lot of strength. You could use pocket holes. I've also made these where I dado the legs, and then the cross pieces fit into those dados. So the options are endless. Then it was just one more quick sanding, a coat of stain to complement the pots I had, and top coated with shellac. But another plus side to these is everyone loves houseplants, and these things really dress them up. I'm sure they would definitely sell really good online, and since they slip together in two pieces, you could easily package and ship these in a small box, which is a huge plus in this day and age. And to be able to make two of them with one 2x4, your profit margin is way up, and that's what you want. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that video, I got another one queued up for you right here that I think you'll like. And then also, subscribe for more, because I'm always making new videos. Thanks for watching.